Hello everyone, this is Colin on the ASA League channel, and here we are for the Pennzoil Pro Series, this time race 12 at our third race course of the season, Watkins Glen. Usually this track is a later race in the year, but this year it is in the middle of the season, before the chase. Here are the point standings. Jay Durrell, a winner at this track, definitely looking to increase his points margin over the rest of the field, and if he can have a good race here today, I'm sure he'll do just that. However, there are plenty of drivers also wanting to get their first win of the season. And as we see on the front row, Cody Russell wanting to get his first win, but Kyle Singer already having his first win. Both of them big motorsports cars, by the way. Row 2, Michael Jones and Webster Zygarde, another big motorsports car. They're trying to go for 3 in a row, actually. Row 3, Aaron Lukes and Arsha Say, National Racing teammates. Row 4, Derek Petrianitis and Steinbeck, that's the last big motorsports teammate. Row 5, Zach Komoski and Jay Durrell, there's the 43 car points leader. And row 6, Kyle Collins and Brian Lenning. Row 7, Jack Newman and Ryan Kendall, pretty impressive starting spot for that 56 team. Row 8, John Gilbert and Allison Davidson. Allison's super excited to come back to a road course where she feels she has the best shot at winning. Row 9, Rick Witt and Zach Carr. Zach paranoid, the opposite of Allison at least. Row 10, Jay Barker and Stuart Gratton. Row 11, Brian Boone won the last road course we went to, and Ryan Dunn. Row 12, Blaine Keys, Talladega winner, and Brock McMahon looking to turn his season around. Row 13, Sam Rogers and Joseph Strigley looking to not get a penalty this time at a road course. Row 14, Daniel Maxwell and Daniel Voiles both on the cut line for the chase. Row 15, Nick Purcell and Jose Viquez also fighting for that top 20 spot. Row 16, Jesse Dalton and Nikita Rizkov. Nikita looking to hold himself in the chase. Row 17, Cesar Chavez and Nicholas Samudio. Row 18, Eric Willis and William Brock. Row 19, Matthew Brown and Haley Wish. Brown needing to have a good finish to keep himself in the chase. In row 20, John Cittadino and Ruby Easton. And in the final row, James Johnson and Carson Scott making their way into the field. However, 6 drivers did not. Here are the people who did not qualify for the race. We're about set to go racing here as the cars come off the turn and the engines are off. Green flag is in the air. And a bad start for a lot of the cars behind. I see a red car holding people up and they dive down into turn 1. And Kyle Singer got a horrible jump on that restart, or at least I think he had a horrible run through the corner. Ooh, and Aaron Lukes way up the track going through the S's. I believe that was his teammate that actually forced him up there. Hossein meaning business here today, seeing as a perfect opportunity to come home with a good finish. You see Addison Steinbeck's same goal in mind for that car as well. But for now, Cody Russell leads the field around. And Big Motorsports is 1, 2, 3 on the grid. Coming into this race, Big Motorsports won 2 races in a row. They're only 2 of the season, but they were confident they could get it done. They brought the road course package here today, and they are definitely working it today. And look at Webster Zygarde passing Cody Russell on the outside, and the P&G Chevy is going to go to the front. Kyle Singer looking to make a move underneath the 77 car, but the 77 will be able to drive off and hold the position. Now we're going to go check to see what happened back here, and I'm not sure what it looks. There's obviously a stack up, but I'm not sure what caused it. It looked like that someone just applied the brakes a little too much, and I want to blame that on Nick Purcell's. And this is a road course, so there is no cautions during the race, so Purcell's has to hope to make it up on pit stops or something to try to get a good result out of this race. Remember, he is way down in the points coming into this race compared to the 20th position. But for Webster Zygarde, Webster is looking to get his first win since Season 1. Zygarde was winless in Season 2 despite being one of the highest points finishers in the regular season, actually edging out Jay Durrell to be number 1. To everyone's surprise, though, still did not have a win. This 12 car has been very strong. We've seen him in the past 2 years. Season 1, he got, I believe, 3 wins, one of them a non-chase win. Last year was winless. He's looking to try to get back in his win streak and try to perform just like he did in the first season. Russell also trying to have a good run as he's actually been slipping in points recently, down to 13th 110 points behind leader Jay Durrell. And for Kyle Singer, obviously that win at Dover, very beneficial to him, and he is climbing the points. However, we can't really concentrate completely on the Big Motorsports trio up front. How about the 47 car of Michael Jones? He won here last year, breaking over a 50 race winless streak. I believe Zyger is actually coming up to that here pretty soon, but it was a very long time since the 47 got a win, and that was definitely sweet when he did. And then the 47 got a dual win, so he's looking to get another win on the year and try to get a second, and at least one being a points race win. Derek Petrie is the odd man out for Big Motorsports, despite just winning at Pocono for the team. This driver has felt very awful. He's been very loose through the corners. You can see he washes up the track a little bit right there, showing how loose he is. Just been unhappy with his car all day long, and all week long actually. Practice was horrible for him. And it looks like Kyle Collins has been in the wall somewhere. And this will show it. Oh, and that was a heavy hit for the 56 car. And that was Ryan Kendall. And Kendall was having a great run up inside the top 15. And Collins, obviously, he was having a good run as well. But the 56, it was crunch time for him. He needed a good finish to get back in the points chase. And that's going to hurt him a lot because he's going to have to make a trip to pit road to fix it. Luckily, he didn't wreck out of the race, though. I mean, if there's an upside, that's it. But 77 car, you see, trailing the 12 car still. 7 laps into the race, and we haven't seen a lead change since the beginning of the race. For how hectic the first lap was, it's definitely been a bore ever since. The cars have been pretty much running single file, except for that one incident we just saw with Kyle Collins and Ryan Kendall. Actually a little bit reminiscent to what we saw in the first lap between the teammates, the 9 and the 5 of Arish Hossain and Aaron Lukes. However, with their case, they didn't get into an accident. Here's an aerial shot of the track, a very cool shot from the Goodyear blimp. And as we see the cars rounding, most of them going through the boot right now, or past the boot, excuse me, and down to the front stretch. We're looking at Arish Hossain here, and Hossain is definitely just looking for a good finish. And currently, he's running a top 5. And that's not to say he hasn't been running good. He's just been finishing poorly. If I remember, in the past 3 races, he was somewhere in the mix in every one of them. However, he got shuffled out. I believe at Talladega he had a problem with the engine, and at Dover he had his back end was caved in, so he had to come down to pit road for repairs. The 9 car is just looking to finish a race well. And while he's 37th in points, he thinks he still has a shot at it. And obviously he's giving it his all right now. He just fell outside the top 5, but I'm sure a top 6 run will definitely help his case out. The draw-tight Chevy, we didn't expect him to miss the chase, but as it looks right now, it looks like that's the way it's going to be. Jose Vaquez. And Jose was having a great point season so far. 24th in points coming into this race. Obviously not in the chase at the moment. A good run could have helped him out. He's not going to get one. Engine expires going down into turn 1. And just before the halfway point, too, as we see Allison Davidson having a solid run, as well as Brian Lenning in the 22 car. Both of them running inside the top 10, having a nice battle. On the right, you see your midway report, and you can check out where your driver is running at the moment of the mid-race. But for Allison Davidson, it's a good story all around. Allison's starting up a team in the Copperhead Amateur Series. Definitely a driver that has been changed a lot over the past 12 races. Hasn't even been a season, but it's been through more teams than a lot of the drivers out here. Looking at Daniel Maxwell, Daniel and DW Motorsports as a whole has been the topic of the garage area. How did they somehow sneak their way into the chase? Not many people know, but after this race, it does not look bright for the DW Motorsports. Both cars outside the top 30 in the running order, if not 29th at least, at most for Daniel Maxwell. I mean, the 4 car is running way in the back. I'm visually making that assumption. But the Rockstar Energy Mustang looking to try to forward his position to get as many points as he can. Jack Newman is going to lead the field down to pit stops. He was actually the only one to come down that time, basically short pitting, while the rest of the field will come down a lap later. This will end all pit stops for the rest of the day, as we only have 1 green flag cycle to go through today compared to Pocono's 3 that we saw last week. Coming out of pit road, it looks like Darrell actually had stayed out a lap later, but Zygarde is going to go blowing by. Darrell, former winner at this track, is trying to at least get a second win here, but he's going to have to contend with those top 3 Big Motorsports Chevys, because so far they've been out front all race long. Kyle Singer we see in the 11 car. It was an odd choice to see Singer being picked for a big team like Big Motorsports. No pun intended, but the 11 car, we didn't know what Kyle Singer was going to do in this car, and after winning Dover, which arguably could have been considered a fuel mileage race, he's backing up that he is indeed a good driver compared to Season 2, where he really was the low end of the stick for Bad Dad Racing when he was with them. Derek Petrie speeding on pit road, so the problems continue with this car. It looks like all the luck from Big Motorsports, basically Derek donated to the rest of his team. I guess he got to sacrifice one to better the cause for the rest of the team, I guess. But how about the 23 car? This guy is lurking in the background, just got by Michael Jones in the 47 car. The 23 has openly stated he is not astounding at road courses. Even though the first one he attended at Infiniton in Season 1, he won, he said that he didn't feel like he actually had a good car that race. It just played out, his cards played out the right way for him. Currently having a solid run here today, so maybe he wants to rethink his thoughts here, as running 4th is not bad. And you see Zach Kamonsky has said much the same. In fact, his downward spiral of a year started in the 2 road courses in race 5s and 6. But Kamonsky trying to get back to the chase hunt, and if he has a good top 10 run like he's holding right now, that could be a thing. Haley Wish in the 25 car has tried to give Vincent Motorsports, and a car off in the back! Matthew Brown! And Matthew was struggling with a bad car all race long, running 39th at the moment, and he's just going to drive it in way too hard next to James Johnson, and the 21 will send his car into the tires. The first self-caused incident of the day, and it happens with 3 laps to go. Although, since he was running so far back in the field, he'll only lose like 2 positions, I believe. Only 2 points, but those 2 points could cost him a chase berth at the end. Ryan Kendall, after his first accident, he will get past Matthew Brown eventually, but currently he is battling with the 12 car to stay 2 laps down. Or at least 1 lap down, I mean. He will fall 2 laps down. But you see the 23 car has gotten by one of the Big Motorsports cars. And the 23 is making a late race charge, but I don't think he'll have enough time, especially with the 56 car in the way. Final lap is in the air. The 12 car with a commanding lead. Steinbach is up to 2nd. And he has gotten past the 11 car. And I believe the 56 may have had something to do with it. Jay Darrell sticking his nose into the battle. Michael Jones falling off in the end here. Aaron Lukes in the 5 cars is up in this battle as well. And Singer has fallen to 3rd. Russell to 3rd. Singer back to 4th. Ryan Kendall trying to move out of the way the best he can. But the 23 car of Addison Steinbach just trying to bring it home for a 2nd place finish. The driver was outside the top 28 in points, and a 2nd place will definitely put him in contention to make his 3rd chase of his career. Before Webster Zygarde, he rounds the corner, hoping to finally bring home a win in his long drought. The P&G Chevy rounding the final corners. Michael Jones ended his drought here at Watkins Glen. It looks like the 12 car of Webster Zygarde is about to end his. Checkered flag, and Big Motorsports will get 3 wins in a row, and Webster Zygarde, the 3rd different driver for the team, will do it for them. In a pretty exciting race at the end, but in the end, it was Webster Zygarde dominating the race, and Zygarde will bring home cheers for the stable of Big Motorsports. Definitely going to be the team to watch going into the chase. And Zygarde will celebrate with victory burnouts. And here are your finishing results. A great climb for Steinbach. We're going to have to see where that puts him in points. Arsha Sane as well, Zach Kamosky, Brian Lenning. All nice stories to see, as all of them have been struggling in points. And they've finally gotten a good run for all of them. And we're looking down the midfield. Allison Davidson was running up front most of the race. Fell back late in the going, so tough luck for her. and 2 cars out of the race, both with different problems, but both ended good runs. Or not good runs. Here's the point standings. Darrell will slightly extend his lead over Barker, only by 10 points, and Webster Zygar jumps up to 3rd with that win. And you see the cut line. It gets very close, as you see Zach Cars making it in. However, that bumps Matthew Brown out. We still have more races to go, though, before the chase, and we have to get through the throwback race first at Darlington. The ASCA Elite will sign out. We'll see you all next week.